Hi everyone. Just wanted to reach out and send out a little demo. A few people have been asking questions about um, getting a better negative for cyanotypes, and I think there's a few things that I had forgotten to go over with you all or overlooked. So I would just wanted to show you really quick via a little screen recording. Um, there's a few people that brought this up, and so I'm glad they did. Because then that way we can kind of move forward, especially second half of the semester, we're going to be doing the opposite. We're going to be printing positives, right? And we kind of need a different way of editing the images for that. So this is a good practice. So I'm going to go ahead and open an image. I have this one here of Malcolm X. We're going to open it with Photoshop. And then we're going to follow our same practices, right? We're gonna go ahead and invert. We're going to, or actually a few things first. So we gotta convert to profile. We're gonna go to Adobe RGB 1998. I'm gonna crop this really quick. And to crop, you just go over to this tool. To rotate, you can just grab onto the corner. And then we're gonna invert. All right, here's where we can do a few things, right? So if you want to before you invert it, you want to make these edits, that's totally okay too. So usually with an image, you want to kind of get a really nice contrasty image, but with cyanotypes, you want to do the opposite. So usually the easiest way to do it is to find your adjustments layer and go to this one, which is curves. So if you hover over it, it'll tell you create a new curves adjustment layer. So if you click on it, here's your little line. So usually in photography, people will tell you to make like a nice little S curve to make a nice contrasty image, right? So if you click the eyeball, you'll see that we've added some contrast. For cyanotypes, we want the opposite, right? So instead, let's do an opposite S curve instead of a regular S curve. So by doing this, we're bringing down the shadows a bit, so they're not as strong. So you can see right here in the tie and then the shadow behind Malcolm X's head, that it starts to become a little flatter, as they say, right? We're starting to get a little bit more detail in these, more of these highlight areas. So if you want, we can go even further and we can kind of flatten it even more. So usually that makes for a nice thinner negative. So these darker areas will be a little bit less dense. And I think that's what most people have been having problems with is that some areas are way too dark, like some sky areas or some water areas. They're too dark as negatives. So once we do that, we can invert our image, right? If you're going to be moving this onto a new canvas, then we can flatten it. But if you're not, then we can go ahead and print. But here, I'll show you what this looks like uh, when it's inverted with our adjustments on, right? So you can see that all of these darker areas, darker shadow areas are going to be pretty dark. But then once we hit it with the curves move, it won't be as dark, right? So you can always go further as well. Another thing you can do is go into the levels and we can move this midpoint up instead of going down. So if we go down, it's going to make it darker, but we want to go up like towards 1.5 in this little input number. Usually somewhere around there is probably good, right? So just that move there from 1.00 to 1.28 jumped us to be very gray, right? So if we look back there, it's going to be a little bit more gray. That might be too much, right? I think we might be okay with just this curves layer. It jumped quite a bit, just that. So that might be where we could at least start from, right? So just wanted to share that with you all. I hope this helps at least a little bit. I know some of us have been having problems, and sorry I didn't go over this sooner. I also still owe you that scanning demo. I'm in the process of editing it right now and should have it sent out to you within the next couple days. Just got to do my little voiceovers for that one too. All right, cool. Awesome. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm always around. All right, cool. Thanks.